Hey again, I hope everybody's doing well. This video we're going to actually start putting the functionality into our win volume. Okay, I'm hoping that we'll get all the way through it. It's a lot to it. I might have to break this into a couple functions or sections of the blueprint, but we'll see how this goes. Maybe I'll just push all the way through it. Hopefully it's not longer than 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so again, we left off with the win volume in the last video. This video we're going to pick up and again finish that up. So if you're just joining us for the first time, check out my YouTube channel, Putting on the Fritz 3D Visualization. You can check out the rest of the Rollerball, Making a Game in Unreal Engine 5 videos to get caught up, or you can just jump in at any spot that you think you need to jump in at. All right, so let's go ahead and get started since this is going to be a little bit longer. Okay, so if you don't remember how to get to your BP win volume, remember it's down here in your content drawer under your content blueprints folder that we created under triggers, and it's right here, the BP win volume. Okay, double click on it, open it up. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a function, okay, right over here. And we're going to call this function check for remaining collectibles. Okay. All right, it's kind of a long name, but it's very clear as to what this function does. We're checking for remaining collectibles. Okay, and it's actually, this one's actually kind of a pretty simple one. What we're going to do is we're going to first jump back into our collectibles. So right now we only have one, and it's up here called BP coins, right? And if you don't have it open, again, go down to your content drawer and open it up down there. Okay, so once we're here, now what we need to do is we need to add a tag into our coin. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we have BP coins at the very top right here selected. Over here in the details section, on the search, we can type in tag. And when we do that, the option for tags pops in down here. We want to hit the little plus button that says add element. And inside of there, we want to type in collectibles. Okay. And we want to make sure that we copy it so that it's exactly the way it is. So with it selected there, we're going to go ahead and hit Control C and copy it. And then we're going to go ahead and move back over to our win volume. And the reason why we did that, okay, is we're going to actually get anything that has the name Collectibles on it, okay? We're not going to, there's other methods we could use of this, but you may not want to just have coins as your collectibles. You may want to have 2 or 3 different type of collectibles. So you don't want to have to go looking and put in a bunch of different searches for this type of collectible, that type of collectible. If we all give them a name, a tag name, then this should work for it to be able to say, okay, you've got, 3 squares left, 4 coins, and whatever, all right? So it should find it for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull out from here, and we're going to get all actors, and it should say with tag. Get all actors with tag. Okay, and then if you copied it like I did, Control C, if you click down in here with the tag and hit Control V, it should get it exactly the same as what we had, okay? And that's what we want. And you can hit Enter, and that'll set it. All right, so now what we're going to do is we want a return node, but you see there's not one over here. So we're going to pull out from here, and we're going to type in return. Yeah. Return node, okay? Right down here it says add return node. We're just going to get this. So it's going to be this nice little purple thing. Okay. And one of the things we also need to do is with the return node selected, and it'll change the entire function the same way. So either with the return node or the name at the very beginning, over here on the right hand side, we want to set this up so that it is a pure function. You can hover over it, okay? So we're going to force this to be pure. So, and then down here, we're going to make it a constant function so that it can't be changed, okay? It's going to be whatever this output is going to stay the same. You won't be able to have another blueprint actor change it and change its output, okay? And then we're going to pull out from here, where it says get actor, and we're going to type in length. Okay, so it's going to go out. It's going to find all the collectibles that are out there. It's going to count them up. So it's going to give us a length. And then we're going to do a check. If that length is greater than, so if you hold the shift button and select the greater than button, we want greater than 0. So we're going to leave that at default. We're going to return whatever that number is. Okay, we're going to return that this is true. That we have collectors left that are greater than 0. It is greater than 0. So if you have 1, 2, 3, that's greater than 0. That's true. Okay, and then we're going to have our return value here. It's going to be a Boolean, so we're going to leave that where it is. And this one should be done. So we're going to go ahead and compile it and save it. Now we're going to go back to our event graph. So see how we have these little tabs building it up here? We just created this one right here, check for remaining collectibles. This is the event graph we started with. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull out that check for remaining collectibles. And it should be green like this. Okay, that's what the pure and the const did when we selected it. And we selected those. It changed it from looking like a blue, having a blue image like this one, to being green like this one. Okay, and we're going to say that. So now, if we did this check and it's true, we have collectibles left, it's going to open level by name. We can test this real quick. If I go ahead and hit play, okay, and I skip picking up the collectibles, and I run into the volume, what should happen is it should reset me. And it did. Now, if I were to pick up the collectibles right now, nothing would happen. Basically, I'd pick them up, I'd go hit the wall, and nothing should happen. I shouldn't go to the next level because I don't have that piece built yet. So let's go ahead and jump back into our blueprint and get that piece of it done now too. Into our volume and build out this other side of the node over here for what happens when the condition is true. We've collected all the collectibles. All right, so let's see. All right, so the first one we're going to type in, we're going to create a new function, and this one is going to be added here, okay? And this one's going to be called level completed. Because that's what we've done. We've completed the level, okay? And we're going to have to create another function from inside of here. But first, let's go ahead and get this started a little bit. We're going to pull out from here. We're going to put in a branch. And there's going to be two conditions from this. We're going to have to create, or two results from the condition. We're going to have to write the condition function. But first, we're going to pull out from true. And this is going to be quit game, okay? So in other words, if we've gone through all of our levels, we're going to quit the game. And the other one is we're going to create another function down here that's going to be called load level, but we got to write that one as well. So first, let's go ahead and over here create another function. So hit the plus button, and we're going to do a check is final level, okay? So is it going to be the final level? All right, so the way we're going to do that is we're going to have a return node. So we'll go ahead and throw that in first so we don't forget it. Okay. Okay, so we want a return node. The next thing we want to do is we're going to make this a pure and a const. So we're going to put a little checkbox in there. Okay, so right up here, pure and const. All right, now we're going to create a variable, and this variable is going to be an array, okay? So down here, we're going to hit the little plus button, and we're going to call this level, call this levels, okay? And it's not going to be a Boolean, it's going to be a name, okay? And right next to this, we have this little symbol, okay? And we're going to select an array, so we want that right there, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and compile it, and we're going to save it, okay? And we're going to add our array levels down here, okay? And then we got to remember, we named all of our levels, so we have 3 levels now that we created, level _1, level _2, and level _3. So we're going to hit this 3 times. And this is going to create an index. So our first level is going to be index 0. Our second level is going to be index 1. And our third level will be index 2. So if we were to name these 1, 2, and 3, we would take a look that 1 would actually be 0, 2 would be 1, and then 3 would be 2. So always 1 less than what it would be. All right, so let's go ahead and name these exactly the way our levels are. So level underscore 1, okay? All right, so there we go. We have those set up. Let's go ahead and save it, compile and save it. We're going to pull these levels out, okay, and we're going to get those levels. And then we're going to pull out from here, and we're looking for our last index. Okay. And we're going to have to write another function for the other piece of this, but we're going to pull off from here, and we're going to hit the equals button because we want to see if our last index equals our current level name. So we're going to have to create a function to get that current level name, right? And then we're going to go ahead and take this node, and we're going to do an output right there. So let's go ahead and write that new function we need. So we're going to hit the little function button again. We're going to create a function, and this one is going to be get current level name. Okay. And actually I'm going to change this to level index because that's what we're going for, is we're going for the index. So let's change this to get current level index. So let's say instead of name we're going to change it to index because we actually have a function that's going to get current level name. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull out from here, and this is a default in Unreal Engine. So we're going to type in get current level name. All right. And this function is going to be also a pure and a const, and we'll have to check to see if we did that for the last ones. I don't remember. Okay, so once we get the current level name, we're going to grab this level names here, so our levels. We're going to get that. We're going to pull out from here, and we're going to find. Okay, and it's find item. We'll pull these over just a little bit to give us some room to work. I'm going to pull out from here, and I'm going to plug that into that node. It's going to convert it to a string for us. I'm going to grab this node and kind of straighten it out down here, kind of make it look nice and neat there. And then we're going to return node. Okay, so we're going to return node. And our return is going to be an integer, so a number. Okay. And we want to make sure that the return value is an integer down here. Again, this is a pure and const function. And that's going to get that one all set up for us. So we're going to compile and save it. We're going to go back to is final level. Okay. And we're going to pull out get current level index. Okay, and this should be green like this. Okay. And we're going to add a 1 to it, okay? Because we want to get the level index. We're going to add a 1 to it. So we're going to pull out from here. We're going to hit the plus symbol. So shift equals button gives you the plus for add, or you can type in add. We're going to change it from 0 to 1 right here. Okay, so it should be 1. And we're going to take this and we're going to plug that in right there. And we're going to go ahead and compile and save this. All right. And what we're doing is we're adding 1 to our level index. So if it's 0, it's now 1. If it's 1, it's now 2. Okay. And then we're going to go back to level completed. Okay. And we're going to pull in is final level. Okay, so we've done that check. If it is the final level, then it's going to quit the game. If it is not the final level, then we're going to create a new function. Okay, and this one's going to be added down here, function plus. We're going to call this one load next level. Okay. And we're going to pull off from here, and we're going to get the open level by name. Okay. And we're going to have to write the next function that we need, because we need to get that next level name, and we haven't set that up yet. Actually, we have. We can go ahead and use this one. All right, so we're going to need to get the level name, and unfortunately, I just realized I may have messed this up just a little bit. Let's go back to is final level. Okay, is final level tab up here, and we are getting the current level index, but we're not adding a number to it. Okay. We wanted to make sure that, so we're going to delete that out of there. What we're actually doing in this one is we're making sure that the last index is equal to the current level index, okay? So we're not adding a 1. It is the actual level index, so these levels that we created here, so this index, and we want to see if it index, so if this level name is index number 2, and we're going to check to see if it's index number 2, which means it would be the last level. Okay, so that was my confusion on that part. I apologize. So we're going to go back here to the very last one we just created, which is the load the next level, and we're going to open level by name. So we actually need to get the next level, okay, and to get the name. So we're going to create a new function, okay, and we're going to get next level name. Get next level name. All right. This should be a pure and a const as well. So pure and const right there. Okay. So we're going to use that get current level index that we created. So over here we're going to pull this function out. And this is where we're going to add the 1, okay? So we're going to hold the shift button, hit the plus, select add, and we're going to get 1, okay? Because what we're doing is we're taking our current index and we're going to look for the next index, and that's why we're adding 1 to it. We're also going to get our level names, okay? And we're going to get a copy. Okay, so we want to get a copy. We're going to add this into there. So we're going to get the level index. We're going to add 1 to it so that we can get the next level. And then we're going to pass that along to a return node. Okay, and a return node. And we're going to output the name right here. Okay, our output will be name. So we're going to compile, and we're going to save that. And we're going to go back to load next level. We're going to pull out get next level name. And we're going to go ahead and plug that into here. compile. I'm going to save that. And now we should be able to go all the way back up to our event graph. And we should be able to pull out complete level. So our level completed. We're going to connect that into there. And it should take us to the next level. So let me go ahead and just double check to make sure we got everything set up the way we need to. We're going to double click on it. We're going to go in. We have, all right, and then we need to load this next level. So that's what we're missing. We got our quick game here, right? So we need to load our next level. So we're going to pull this out from here, load our next level. I'm going to double check that one. We're going to double click on load next level. Make sure that we have get next level name, and we're going to open level by name. If I double click on get next level name, it should be levels. We're going to add those in. Okay. Our current level index should be this one right here. And it is. Get current level name. We're going to get the level names. We're going to find the index. Okay. So, I'm going to jump back up to event graph. Yep, we should be good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and compile and save. I'm going to save all. And let's go ahead and run a test. I know this video has run a little bit longer, and we've had a couple little hiccups, but I think that's important. All right, so let's go ahead and just double check to make sure that this works. We're going to go over here. And boom, it restarts me because I didn't have them all, so it's punishing me for not having them all. I'm going to go back and get them all. And then go back, and it should take me to my next level. And it did, and clearly we have an issue here. Yeah. So, and that appears to be a camera issue. So let me pause for a second just to double check to make sure that I have the right idea. All right, so yes, forgot one little thing when we set up our other levels. So let's go back to our content, go to our maps, open level 2, and what's missing from here? A place for the player to start. So we're going to go ahead and add place actor. We're going to go to basics, and we need player start, and we're just going to throw that out there. And then we're going to save it. And we're going to do the same thing for our third level. Okay, we need a place for our player to start. Okay. Players start. There we go. That was painful. The next thing we need to do, and I forgot to do it, so we're going to have to go back on the other one, is we're going to go to our content drawer, and we're going to go into our content, blueprints, triggers, and we're going to take that wind volume, and we're just going to stick it out here. Make it a little bit bigger so it's easier to hit it. Okay, we're going to save all on level 3. We're going to go back into level 2 so we can test all of this. Going to go to our content, maps, level 2. Go back into our content, blueprints. And triggers, wind volume. Pull that a little bit bigger. Pull it out of the ground a little bit. All right, so now file, save all, go back to my level 1, back into my maps, level 1. Now if I hit play, grab up these coins, go to my volume, my portal, I end up here, and here, and the ball's not showing up because of one more reason. All right, so if we take a look at each of our maps, when we set up our gameplay area, and so in my world settings, okay, so I'm going to grab my world settings, I'm going to pull them up here so we can see them. we're in on level 1, my BP, my game mode, and it has my default pawn class player. Okay, so we can set those up on each of our levels, but we can also go to Window, and then go to our Edit rather, and go to our project settings. Okay, and then in our maps and modes. So in our maps and modes, our default game mode is game mode base. We can go in here and we can pick my BP game mode. And this will set up your game mode that you created for all of your levels, if this is something you want. Now you can also leave it at default and then have each of your levels set up differently so you have a different player pop in or a different characteristic. But since we're going to have the same player for this one, it's easy to set it up here. Now if we go back again, and I'll just demonstrate one more time just to make sure we're good. Okay. Okay, there's our player. Everything's set up the same way as our game mode. And now we can go to each of these. We win, we close that last one out, and the game is over. All right. So this one took twice as long as I wanted it to take, but there was a lot to cover. I thought about breaking it out, but it just sort of leave you hanging kind of in the middle. So from here on out, hopefully we can stick to the 15 minutes concepts and ideas, but I think this was the biggest one that we had to conquer. The cannons will be kind of big too, but maybe I can break those out. All right, so again, if you have any questions, please leave questions in the comments. I'll get back to you. If you have any problems, let me know, please. Like the video if you like what you saw. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time.